Okay, so I just got back from my turbo insane house hunting adventure that I've been on for the last about month. So I finished my Yukon stuff, my Yukon adventures at Birch Camp, and then did some river trips, and then mushroom picking, and then took a flight to Alberta in Edmonton, where I hung out with my great uncle. And he drove me to a couple of houses that I really wanted to see because they're really cheap. One of them was only $19,500. And you know how a realtor's job is to make the house look super nice? The wood stove was going, the paint was peeling off the walls, and it did look pretty crappy, but we went to go see it anyway. But just as I landed in Edmonton, 3 of the 6 houses that I wanted to look at sold right as I got there. They weren't even on realtor.ca anymore. So we were on our way to this house in Innisfree, Alberta. And on our way there, it was pissing rain, I get a text. And the realtor says, "Hey, sorry, the house is sold." The house sold while I was on my way to it. And we got there, but I wouldn't have bought it anyway because it was an absolute piece of garbage. Like, the absolute, yeah. And then, so what happened next? And we checked out some other houses, but they were also equally as disgusting. So I left because what I wanted to do was find a cheap house, because I've been saving up for a long, long time. I've been homeless, jobless, and carless, but I have enough money to buy a small fixer-upper house on a property, which is a really, really tough position to be in. It really sucks. But so I left Alberta, went back down to the island. But as I came down to the island, I realized, hey, there's a house in the center of BC. And it turned out there were 2 houses and a bunch of freehold lots that looked pretty nice. So I booked the 700 freaking buses and crazy freaking interior BC Brandons talking on the phone about how he's the jail and stuff like that. I'm really not interested, Brandon. Thank you. I took a bus and a ferry, made it to Vancouver, took a bus to Kamloops, took another bus to Prince George, had to freaking sleep in the bush on the outskirts of Prince George, and there's like creepy freaking vent leaners in the corners playing with cardboard. I had no idea. It's a really creepy, crazy adventure, and I really don't like Prince George. And then I had to get up at 4 a.m., hike across the entirety of Prince George to the next bus, hop on that bus. There was a weird discrepancy of where the freaking bus stop was. But then I got on the bus, and I just went all the way to Houston, BC. You ever been to Houston, BC? And so Houston is a nice place. There's really big cottonwood trees and kind of like nice places to camp like outside of town. It's pretty nice. So then I got on this shuttle bus with a whole bunch of old people talking about fishing and hunting the entire time. And we went about 50 kilometers up to Grand Isle, BC. And in Grand Isle, there's this nice house. I don't know if you are looking for property, you have probably seen it. It's a house listed for $50,000. So I get there, I camp for 3 days, I look at the lake and stuff like that. I walk by the house, I'm like, damn, this looks nice. And then the realtor showed me the house. And as we went in, I saw and smelled that the entire house was full of black mold. And not just a little patch of black mold in the corner. No, I'm talking about every surface of the house covered in black mold, and it gave me a headache just being in the house for 1 hour. And black mold isn't that kind of thing where you scrub it off and it's gone. It's like it's on the surface of the walls, and it's in the walls too. And also the foundation was blown in somehow, and it was cracked, and the structure of the house looked fine, the attic was dry. But I'm not going to renovate an entire house that it has cracked foundation, burst water pipes, and the city of Grand Isle had a problem with aluminum in the water. There's been talk about it getting fixed recently, but I don't know. So it was really hard to just grin and bear it and leave when I could have bought a house if it wasn't for the exploded foundation and the black mold. I would have had that house and then been able to fix it up and sell it for maybe a small margin more, because it's in an area that, you know. And there was another house in Burns Lake, but it sold pretty much right as I got there as well. Right, it was a confirmed, it was an accepted offer on this other house, but I really wanted it because it had a truck in the driveway. It was just full of this old man's garbage as usual. You know, there's all those old man houses where they just don't clean anything for 40 years. But it's old. So I came back down to the island and have to reset my life up again in order to continue investing. But going back to how I got here was I was sleeping in the bush on the outskirts of Houston, BC. And then I booked the bus to go to Prince Rupert. But I get an email in the morning saying, "Oh, get on the train at this time." I'm like, what the frick? The train? What? I never booked the train. It was freaking mental. And then I had to get on the train, like, really quickly. And I found this little rubber Jesus guy, at the so-called train station in Houston, which was interesting. And then I hopped on the train. 7 hours later, we got to Prince Rupert. Then I just camped in the bush in Prince Rupert as usual. Ate the absolutely mealy, delicious, massive salmon berries in Prince Rupert because they're built different there. Then the next morning, bright spanking early, I hopped on the ferry at 7 a.m. And that 17-hour ferry, I went down all the way to Port Hardy. And then I have my you can watch my other my ferry video and my Port Hardy video and that kind of thing. And then I had to hitchhike from Port Hardy to Port McNeil, and then my mom picked me up from there because it was closer than, no one likes to pick up hitchhikers on that part of the highway for some reason. And I had to freaking throw sticks at a bear as I was sleeping that night, which really was annoying. And also then, so I went through all of this crazy adventure, got back to the island, and now I bought my car, I got a job, I just have to get set up with my living situation, and then I'm all set to being a modern human again, and not being homeless, jobless, and carless, but with tons of money. And then but the thing is as I was on the train, on my way to Prince Rupert, I was digging around in the Government of Yukon website BS, and I found this program that you can apply for a residential lot and to build your house on. It has to be within 1 kilometer of a maintained highway. It has to be under 4.66 hectares or whatever. No, 2 hectares. Or no, 5. Whatever is just under 5 acres. Then you can apply for that. It takes about 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 years. It has to go through the First Nations certification and that kind of thing to make sure it's in a place where you're not disturbing anything. And then you can build your house, and it only costs you for the lot, what I heard, is only $30,000. But depending on the size of the lot, it might be a little bit more. And the rule is you have to build a certified, up to Yukon code house within 5 years, which is doable if you have a sawmill. And if there's enough nice trees on the property, then it'll be pretty easy. But septic systems cost $25,000, which is absolutely retarded if you ask me. Why would I work a job to get $25,000 to pay for something I'm literally going to be pooping in? Humans are really, really absurd. So, what the bottom line is with being a modern human, especially a young modern human in your 20s, and trying to find a living situation that you can build your own life on, that doesn't cost you freaking $1,000 a month is absolutely next to impossible in Canada these days. You can go to rural Saskatchewan and set up a life and a crappy house from the 1920s that is falling apart and the paint is peeling off the walls for about $30,000. But then what do? You sit on the prairies and you farm grain. In Alberta, there was about 7 properties within my price range, and in Saskatchewan, there was about 45 properties and houses within my price range. But I've never been to Saskatchewan, so I don't know if it's a piece of shit or if it's great. Everyone gives me mixed opinions on that, but the thing is, I have celiac disease, and when the combines, grind all the grain and stuff, it blows gluten everywhere. So I couldn't be in any rural property in Saskatchewan. But do I want to when I'm born and raised on Vancouver Island? I don't know. So it's really hard to get a property when you're young in this day and age without a mortgage. I don't believe in mortgages because at any given time, the mortgage can go from like 4% interest to 11%. Now what do? Your job didn't increase by 11%. Your wages didn't increase at all. Now you have to starve yourself to save money, which is what I've been doing for 6 years, and it really sucks. That's why I'm so skinny. And so, but I just wanted to make this video to talk about this incredible journey that I've been on, trying to find a house. And it's really hard when I was just living out of my backpack with no car, because if I bought a car, that takes it down $7,000, because in BC, insurance is roughly $2,000 a year when you're a young person. It was really hard to just leave that house when I could have easily fixed it up if it wasn't for mold, because I'm one of those people that's way too sensitive to things. I'm sensitive to Wi-Fi. I'm sensitive to grains and lectins and stuff. So I am sensitive to mold if I got a bad headache within an hour of being in that house. So just back on the island now. I really didn't want to come back, but hopefully that if I just really grind this job and apply for that Yukon program in the fall, then within a year or 2 years, I will be able to start building a life in the Yukon where I want to live. Because the island is getting absolutely turbo insane populated by old people, and the Yukon is a very nice place to live. I really like the Yukon, I really like the island, but the island is getting so populated and so expensive, no one can afford anything unless you have daddy's money. Okay, well, that's all I have to say today, and thanks for watching, and like and subscribe to my channel if you want. Goodbye. Feel alive, feel the blood inside my veins. I wanna slow the time, will you slow it down with me? I think I need to find what it means to be okay. It's broken by design, can't live life without some pain, yeah. And I know I'll keep running, no, I'll be something you won't see me coming. I grow, I keep punching, I grow, I keep hunting. No, I need nothing, supposed to be something so close to me. Jumping